Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I want to do I don't know what to call it, like put together something with me and chat, because I was thinking earlier on how like parenting and homeschooling is similar, but a lot of parents, are kind of afraid of their confidence in their abilities to teach their children, because they don't, I don't know, they just don't know anybody that do it or haven't done it before, or hear stories about it being too much, or it requires so much money and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm about to grab the thing that I need to put together, and then we're gonna chat about some of the things that I think is a crossover. Like if you're doing this, then it's gonna prepare you for that, if that makes any sense. So yeah. Okay, so the thing I need to put together is this Bright Room cube shelf organizer. Y'all know it came from Bargain Hunt, and so the tag said $45, but it was 30% off, so it was about $30-ish. Love a good Bargain Hunt find. But y'all, at the bottom it says this product can expose you to former alcohol gas, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I don't know how I feel about this. I don't really know. I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to warnings like that, but when I see that, I try to avoid stuff. But since we don't have the receipt to return it, I don't know. Get up. Get up. So I do want to preface this by saying that everybody homeschool differently. It can look different from my family, your family, people around you. So yeah. So the first thing I have down here for like a crossover between parenting and homeschooling is the wonder if you're doing your best job, right? So oftentimes we have people, have people compliment me on, that I'm a good mom, right? They like what I do and stuff like that. But there are times when I'm wondering, like, am I being too hard on them? Did I fuss too much today? I need to improve my patience, or whatever the case may be. Like I wasn't patient enough today, or something like that. And it's like, it's the same thing with homeschooling. Like when you're teaching them something that you expect them to know and they don't know it, you can lose your patience, right? But then you think back on how much progress they've made, and things of that nature. So I'm like, what is he doing? Those are similar regardless of whether you homeschool or not. But even if you do or don't decide to do that, that's going to be something that you do as a parent, regardless of whether you're homeschooling or not, right? I guess it's a little easier when your children are in schools and you hear teachers say, hey, they've made progress, they're a star student, and things of that nature. But it's like, as a homeschooler, you hear that from other people, whether that's your husband or people around you that see how you interact with your kids. That's something we're going to think about regardless, right? So it's like, why not? Excuse me, sir. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk and do this at the same time, but I'm gonna attempt. So the second thing, I don't know what I need to do with this. All right. Okay, so the second thing I had on the list is allowing them to help around the home. So sometimes as parents, we do everything for our child, and then sometimes we have parents like myself who allow the kids to help, right? Sometimes it's a bit much, they be in the way, but it's like, if you are allowing your child to take part in the things that you do on the daily, that's going to prepare them for homeschooling. Because if you think about it, in terms of gathering their materials, their curriculum, their activities, going to get things they need for classes, prepping before you do, like if they know what everything is, it makes the flow a whole lot easier. As opposed to you putting things away and never involving them in getting the stuff, it can be harder. Now when it comes to parenting in general, it's like when your children are helping you clean up, they know what supplies are. In the kitchen, they know what spices are. Things of that nature. So I'm like, there's crossover that people don't really think about, but it's like we're preparing them. Anyway, next thing I have is sometimes your child will move faster than you're ready to, right? So I can speak from this. I have 3 children, 6, 5, and 2, and especially with toddlers. Like my son wanted to get on the slides at the park at like 1, right? The big slides. the 5 and 5 and 6-year-olds. And I was terrified, you know, this is a lot, y'all. I was, you know, I wasn't fearful because I knew that he knew what he could do, but I was like, are you sure? Like, I'm very, very close. I'm holding his hands. I'm doing all of those things. And then over time, I started to let go. I started to, you know, fall back because I realized that he is capable, right? He's young, but toddlers know. I think I need something, so I'm gonna scratch the floor. Hold on. But yeah, toddlers know kind of like what they're capable of. They're curious. They want to test the boundaries and stuff like that. So as he got older, you know, I started to pull back a little bit more and watch him from afar, as opposed to kind of like walking him up the steps to the slide. And now he goes by himself, right? So it's like that's gonna be the thing that we deal with in homeschool. My girls sometimes are faster than me in terms of what they're learning, right? And it's like, am I following a curriculum to the T to the point where I don't see that we need to skip these parts, or that we need to do it in one day, or that we need to do something else, right? And then with parenting as well, it's like sometimes our children are ready for things, like I just said, the slide, the park example, but there are other things that we think, okay, they're this age, they're not ready for it, whether they're in the kitchen with knives, or, you know, that could be a safety issue for many people, but it's like, are they capable of doing the thing themselves, moving faster than we would usually let them move faster than, right? So yeah, that's something that homeschooling and parenting is hand in hand. Like, but if you have the mindset that I'm not the person that limit what they learn, but more so the guide to help teach them and gather information from different sources, then it makes it a whole lot easier, right? There are curriculums, right, that I've used in the past, online curriculums that rely solely on the answers that they gave. So if you start off at first grade and they excel that level, it'll move them on second grade, right? So that's something, that's a tool that you can use as a homeschool parent to make sure your child is being challenged, even though you are in the book or going through the curriculum and you don't know exactly where they are, because, you know, children learn things on their own. There are programs out there that give you assessments. There are programs that advance the child based on how they perform on their game. And it gives you a nice flow for something that can do independently, right? So that leads me to my next point of independent play is crucial. Like, independent play is crucial, or alone time, quiet time. At home, y'all know moms who need a break. That's always in here. Chaos, screaming, crying, and it's like quiet time, read a book. Quiet time, you listen to your story pod. Quiet time, you may do a little screen time. But as far as homeschooling, it would be independent learning. So you teaching them their lesson, and then you giving them something to go do off on their own, right? You can check it a little later. You give them something to review. You give them a craft to do on their own. You give them some type of work that they can handle on their own. Like, you don't always have to be over their shoulders trying to tell them, no, this is wrong, right this way, right that way. I'm telling you, like, once you start to give them little things for them to do themselves, it makes it a whole lot easier, you know, for yourself, right? So you can do those hard subjects with them, but those linear, easier type subjects allow them to have a little independent time to where they take their time, do it, and they bring it to you and be like, you know, I'm finished or whatever. So that's something that we need regardless in homeschooling and just parenting in general. Some type of quiet time, some type of alone time, where it's very minimal noise, nobody's bothering you. So yeah, I forgot that these floors can be easily scratched, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish doing it, putting this together. I want to get started, but I don't really know, and I don't have anything to put down either. So I guess I'll go to my next point. Having a plan makes things a lot easier. Now, I know we know about this, whether you work, you know, you're stay-at-home mom or whatever. Planning out your days make things a whole lot easier. Planning out your meals make things a whole lot easier. Planning out your outings, you know, a whole lot easier. Budgeting for curriculum, planning out how much you want to spend, it just makes it a whole lot easier, right? And the same goes for homeschooling. Like having a plan for the week. What subjects are you covering throughout the week? What trips are you going to take throughout the week? What snacks they're going to eat throughout the week? Your overall goal. Like what are some goals that you want them to accomplish in a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now? Do you have a homeschool plan? If you don't, it's fine, because I don't have any long-term goals for the girls. I'm following their pace and then just challenging them a little bit more. But it's like have a plan. It don't have to be a week-long plan, because believe it or not, I am a planner that do the night before, the morning of, and sometimes when I'm in a good mood, I do a full week. But I can't really extend past that, because there are so many variables to being like a toddler mom and a wife. So when my husband needs me, I need to reroute my plan. But yeah, having a plan, it makes it easier, you know. So with homeschooling, it's the same. If you are an organized mom now, homeschooling would be good, because you're used to putting those systems. You're used to like getting things done, crossing things off your list. And homeschooling can be the same way. I promise I'm gonna try to get to this, but I can't multitask. Well, y'all, I don't know if this is gonna actually get built today, but I'm gonna try. But the next thing I have is it takes a village. I didn't say a big village, right? I didn't say a physical village, right? But it takes a village of homeschoolers who can give you that advice, kind of like mentor you, coach you if you need that. A village that can provide you with curriculum options, give you their feedback on like things they messed up on, or things they wish they could change, or how to handle tough situations, because your child will not always want to be homeschooling. And I guess it's a given with anything. Like sometimes children don't want to clean up, sometimes they don't want to go to bed on time, and it's just like that happens. It happens to all of us. There are days when my girls don't want to do homeschool, and there are days when I don't want to do it, to be honest, okay? So I either reroute our time. This floor is hard. Reroute the time, like when we start, if we usually start in the morning time and it's a rocky morning, maybe try afternoon, or maybe try the evening, right? So I love the flexibility of homeschooling. I don't have any like obligations outside of the house, so my schedule is very flexible. And then sometimes we just take a whole day off, right? If we need it. So, not me done covered up the booklet that I need. So yeah, it takes a village. Now, my husband is my #1 supporter, right? My mother-in-law, my mom, like everybody pretty much in my family are seeing the fruits of my labor, seeing the fruits of homeschooling, and they're very supportive. But that wasn't the case when I first got started, right? When I first got started and I said I wanted to homeschool, they was questioning whether I would put my kids in school, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And it's like, I've always had my mind made up that I'm going to do this, like I'm capable, and that's what I've been doing. So Instagram was my first village, and Facebook groups was my first village. Before I had, outside of my husband, right, before I had like a lot of people really clapping, supporting, cheering, inquiring, you know, I had other veteran homeschool moms who give me advice on what to do when I had run into the first, you know, like problems in terms of like what to use for reading, or, you know, I have a gifted child, what should I do, like behavior wise and things of that nature. So you do need some type of village, right? Online platforms work just well as in person. And I do have a video on finding your tribe, so you can go watch that if you're interested. You don't have to be at home all day. You don't. So most people think homeschooling is like 8 hours a day. But homeschooling is not 8 hours a day. It's not. In fact, for my kids' ages, this floor is hard, y'all. It's like 2 hours max. Hopefully I don't stress this floor up. And with the younger children, it's like 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the age. And then as they get older, you add more time to that. But, and even when you do homeschool, like I like to be out and about. I like to go to parks, museums, stores. Like I really like to get out the house almost daily just to do anything. And you can take your homeschool lessons to the park, right? You can make a field trip a homeschool lesson, right? There are different ways to do it. So don't feel like you have to stay at home all day to get things done. You really don't. You really don't. And that can be a turn off for most people. Well, not really. And there are online homeschool programs where you can take it on the go. So if you need to use, like your child using a tablet or something, They're programs where they can read books online, do all of their work online. Yeah, let's see what else I have. I don't know. I put eating together at a table. I'm not sure why, but I do know that, you know, if you want your children to get used to sitting down, doing things for a period of time in a specific place, I feel like the kitchen table is good. A lot of people homeschool at their kitchen table, but it's like it's a specific place. You go, you sit there, you get things done, you leave. It don't even have to be a kitchen table. It can be their desk. But I feel like it just gives them that experience with, if they were to go to school or go to camps or whatever, they'll be used to sitting down at a desk, right? The other thing I have is allowing your child input on what they like versus what they dislike. And this is something that mom, sometimes we do this with picky eaters. I really don't. But when it comes to like activities or their clothing or their shoes, or, you know, go to the park or the park or the store, you know, the park or the movies, or the park or grandma's house, like different little input like that, I do allow that. And when it comes to homeschool lessons, I used to do themes of the week, right, to where my children would tell me whether or not they want to learn about birds or flowers, right? So it was small input like that. Or they would tell me if we try out 2 different curriculums or workbooks, they would tell me which one they like better. And so just allowing that little input that give you a little more knowledge to what they like, what they dislike, whether or not something is easy for them or hard for them, or asking them what's the problem, like, you know, different things like that. So I would say that goes hand in hand, allowing their input, because it's important. Sometimes we can like something, you know, the best, but then our children are really graphic, and it's like, what's the issue? Like, what's the problem? But the problem is, it's not for their learning style. It's for your teaching style, but not for their learning style. So you have to be very flexible in terms of like the material you use, how you go about doing that. How am I supposed to do this? Okay, let's see. What did I do? Oh, this is gonna go on the top. So I'm gonna do this in a box. This is a good idea. I saw it, I said, let me try it. We shall see how this work out. Now I gotta find my screws. I'm not gonna be finished with this by the time the video ends. I don't even know which screws I need. I need these. Let me know in the comments, like, is any of this making sense for y'all? Is it supposed to be like, okay, I think I gotta turn it this way. Is any of this, huh? I'm confused. Oh, it's like this. Oh. Okay. Whew. Sit this down. Okay, so I'm gonna slide the box under here. Okay, close the box. Girl, this floor is so hard. Like, remind me to get a floor cushion because this is so uncomfortable. This is so uncomfortable. But even allow like input when it comes to, I don't see what I need. Oh. Even allowing their input when it comes to like helping with things around the house, learning how to fix up on stuff. All of that plays a role in how hands-on it is. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn this sideways. So even like allowing them to help with putting together stuff, that's beneficial. this thing is gonna be to be continued because I don't think I'm gonna finish this in this video. It's gonna take me a while. And honestly, I think my husband's gonna finish this for me, but I'm just getting started. So yeah, let me know if any of those points resonated with you. Let me know what you think about it. Like, are you a parent who wants to homeschool but you are afraid that you don't have what it takes? I will say with anything when you first start, it's gonna feel foreign to you because you've never done it before. Even with me, I just did what felt right for me. And now I'm feeling a little bit more pressure because we're getting older, and it's like, do I need to do more? Am I doing enough? Am I too relaxed? Do I need to be more strict? You know, so it's like with every homeschool parent. I am confident in my ability to homeschool them, but sometimes I still like be like, you know, you need to sign up. Like, they could be doing more. You know, they need more rigor, or they need days off. So it's like, it happens to all of us. But you can do it. Like, you can do it. You need somebody in your corner telling you that you can do it. If you do, you know, feel free to DM me on Instagram. But you can do it. You got this. I'm telling you, homeschooling is an extension of parenting. Just make the time. You know, be dedicated to seeing the growth. You're not on anyone's time frame in terms of how soon your child masters something, how much they have to repeat it over until they master it. It's really up to your child and you. Or if your state has different requirements for reporting and stuff like that, you know, that's different. But just overall, keeping up with other children, getting old, y'all. Keeping up with other children, like, you just focus on your child, their progress, like praise their progress and not like what they did wrong. And then over time, you're just gonna start to see how they grow. So let me know what y'all feel about this video. So any questions I have about homeschooling, let me know. I have been teaching my children since day one. They've never been to daycare. They've never been to a school, a summer camp or anything like that. They've been home with me since they've been born. So it's like, this is what I do. But I did want to go to school to be a teacher. I have a bachelor's in biology. I have like a minors in like STEM education, and so this was going to be my chosen field, going to school to be a teacher. So, but I was like, if I go to school to teach other people's kids, who's going to teach mine? If I don't know my children's strengths and weaknesses, how can I advocate for them? So that's just a little bit about my story. But yeah, I started this. I'll finish it next time. Okay, I have to show y'all this. So I started up real good. Y'all saw me screwing stuff together, but look. The side that I need stuff to be on is not on. So I gotta take this loose and redo it because I was trying to do too much. I'll see you guys in my next video.